I want to welcome Pastor Moses Adeeyo to my corner. You understand? I am that kind of a blogger or a YouTuber that don't like to talk about pastors. But I'm telling you, these pastors are human beings just like us. I could remember when that of Pastor Johnson Suleiman came out about him and this Stephanie. I supported Pastor Suleiman then. You know why? Because I work with analytical facts. I read sciences, let me use the word, and I could tell you when because we don't go by what we hear by mouth, but analysis we carry out. Is that clear? So this is just a very shocking news that a pastor who is said to be married, although he had an issue with his wife, the case is still in court based on what the son has said. Went as far as getting married to another married woman whose bride price has yet not been paid, has not been returned. It's kind of somehow. Some pastors are just making this whole world look as if pastors are wicked. No, it's some of them that's making it look like that. How can you marry a woman who has 3 kids? One is late, the remaining 2 who has 2 beautiful kids for her husband, even if they have issues. How long has this issue been going on? They have been married for 12 years, for crying out loud. 12 years. You just came from nowhere, and the man is saying, I'll share the videos with you so you listen. The man is saying that anything that happened between him and the wife, he reports to his pastor. Yes, it's the man's pastor that marries the man's wife. For example, my pastor marries my wife. Can you imagine that kind of trauma? Why must he be the pastor? Which means the pastor is aware of all these things that have been happening. The lady, I will still show the video. The lady denied that he never knew the pastor. But in another video, she was congratulating the pastor and wishing the pastor happy birthday. This life is not balanced. She wanted to come and lie. Now she now said they found out that the man didn't pay a bride price. Can you believe that? Which father or which parent will give the daughter out to a man without taking bride price? And they did white wedding. I will share photos here. You will see it. Be looking, you will see the photos. They did white wedding. They did traditional marriage. How come will they do white wedding without paying one's bride price? The mother came and said that, oh, the woman was just saying all sort of, she was just talking out of point. I couldn't get a thing. What am I saying? You have to be careful the people you tell your secrets, people you tell your issues, people you go to meet for help. Because those persons are the one that might be shooking you at the back without you knowing. I will share a video of the woman trying to vindicate herself. I will try and make it short. I will send you that of the man. Then you will still hear when she was wishing the man, the pastor, a happy birthday, that she has not forgot about the encounter she had with the man. Encounter can be of different types. So it's really painful that one's confidant is the one that is killing him. That's why they always tell you the enemy of a person is not far apart. It's inside the family. It's from within. It's from within. One's enemy is within the family. So what our pastor have done, the general overseer of World Bank Assembly in Port Harcourt, in River State. Let me use River State. It's wrong, my pastor. It's wrong because your name has been trending for the past few days. The wedding, I will share the pictures also. I don't know if you have seen it here. I'm sharing the picture. The wedding occurred on the 8th, few days ago. What is today's date? Today's date is just 11. Few days ago, you married somebody's wife, and you know that the woman and the man had issues. You married the wife, and yet you know that the woman bride price has not been returned to the family. It's wrong. Let's call it a spade a spade. It's wrong. Now the pastor's wife has not been officially divorced. The pastor's wife, although they are not living together from what the son said, but they are still married because the matter is in court. So I don't really know what this one is turning into. You just married your church member's wife. Guys, watch the remaining part of the video. For those of us who have been here, thank you for being there. Please, if you are coming for the first time, please stay with me, guys. Please support your boy. Thank you very much.
I want to sing to my papa. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to my father. Happy birthday to you. Wow. Papa, this is your day. I love you. You're a wonderful father. I've come to celebrate you. Papa, you are an amazing father. In fact, Having an encounter with you have really changed my whole life. It has changed my mind, my sense of reasoning, my belief. You know, it has changed my way of talking and all that. Papa, you are amazing. I want to shout out to the whole world and tell them how wonderful you are. You are a father, you are a daddy, you are a prophet to me, you are a preacher of the word that comes out of you is power. Like the one I had today. Wow, they are wonderful. They are great. They are powerful. They are the ones that can keep us. Therefore, I say, Papa, may God bless you. Papa, you will live to eat the fruits of your labor. Papa, the world will celebrate you. Papa will love you from the depth of our heart. Happy birthday to you, my father. Congratulations. Love you. I followed him borrowing money. He asked me to borrow money. I borrowed money in my school. They are still there. The depth of the money I borrowed, I'm still paying it till date. The money I borrowed is this pastor now that is helping me now to foot those bills. I borrowed money for his sake, his children's school fees that have heaped like this. I'm paying it one by one. I've not finished paying the debt. Till now, go to Holy Child School Rumukushi and ask. They are all aware of the story. It didn't end there. Now, after everything, we come to that place. We come to the house where we are living right now. Now the thing is, feeding is a problem in the house. Ask Bright if he has given me upkeep since 11 years I've married him. Even if it is 5,000 naira upkeep, go and ask him. Go and ask Bright if he has done anything. But I don't complain. It's normal. He may not have it. I keep living my life the way I'm living it. I keep surviving the way I'm surviving it. It didn't stop there. This same Bright, after 1 year, I returned back to him. When he took me to the church, he has met one church he wants to be attending. I should leave with him and all that. I left with him. Now, the issue now is, at the end of it all, I came back. We started living outside the family. Brian started from where he stopped. He started the worst. The worst is that I shouldn't go to work. I should be a housewife. During the pandemic, I shouldn't go anywhere. He called people. He said, "These men are chasing me and chasing men." He saw anybody around me, he will nail them. He has done so many things. He chased people that call me mother away from me, the youths, the teenagers. He said they're all sleeping with me. That was it. So he told me that the only way for him to give me a total support into my music, because I have gone to the studio to do a skeletal work of my music, he said not in his house. Not in his house. Now, the issue now is that he said I have affairs outside, that there are many men that are chasing me and all that, that I must take an oath for him. I must take an oath for him. He said I should take an oath. That's the only way you allow me to have peace in his house. I now begged him, if I take an oath, the record of the oath is with me. I recorded it. I have record of it the day I took the oath. I said, if I take an oath for you, will that make me to be a free woman? I can go. He said, I can go to the moon. He will be sleeping. I should take an oath that there is no man that is going to sleep with me, blah, blah. I said, is it for both of us? He said, no, just him alone. I took that oath for Bryce, just to prove to him that I am innocent. I took oath against my faith. I took oath against my faith, just to prove to him that I don't have any skeleton in my cupboard. And I asked him, do you have peace? And I say, I have peace. But that is the worst. He started doing the worst. I'll go to borrow food outside. I'll go and, no, just negligence. Sometimes I will go carry the children and buy them food for them to eat. Me, I will stay hungry. A neighbor will just give me food to eat. I will just be surviving it. I said, enough is enough. I'm not going to die. He looked at me one morning. He said, there is no marriage between us. That I'm just in his house wasting his time. That I'm a smelling thing. He chased me out of our room. That I'm a smelling thing. That smelling thing, he called smelling thing. He thrown in the garbage. He threw me in the garbage thinking I'm going to die. He says he's make my life miserable. That when last I hear about his name, I will run away. That's what he told me. And I told him I'm not going to die. That he's going to make my life miserable and all that. Now, the last straw that breaks the camel's back is that I refuse taking all these things. He told me vividly that number one, he's going to put acid in my cream. I don't want to bring my children into this, because even my children became scared and they were crying. My son will embrace me. My son of 4 years will embrace me and say, Mommy, don't worry, I will take care of you. He abused me before my children. I don't talk. He called me a weak woman. And you came on social media to tarnish an innocent man's image. You came on social media, brides. You've done your worst. You want to get fame. You bend to your knee that you're going to destroy me. But let me tell you, this is my rising moment. You bend on your knees that over your dead body, will you see me standing right and fulfilling my destiny? You throw me in the garbage, but the seed you throw in the garbage find a means of growing and becoming something. I decided to leave his house. How? When I left his house, one day he just locked me up and said, I'm not going for church program. That night, he locked the door and put the key in his pocket before my kids. I said, it has gone to the extent that he started locking me and walking away. So anything can happen to me. There is fire outbreak. I can't escape anywhere. He told me that the children I'm even talking about, it's not when I'm alive to see them, I will start talking about them. When I'm alive, that when I'm dead, I'm rubbish, he move on with his life. Then highest is money. My people don't talk and all that. He locked me up. I packed my things before his eyes. I said, Bright, it is over. Bright, it is over. I'm not going to do this anymore. This is the last straw that will bring the camel's back. I can't die in your house. I can't die because I want to prove myself. I want to prove myself that I'm a good woman. Before his eyes, I packed my bags. I kept them or what. He told me to leave. That I should leave. Self is done with me. That it's just his children I'm taking care of. I packed my bag and I kept it. The next morning, that night, I escaped by my children. My daughter went and looked for spare key. And my son, they hid the key and come and give me and say, Mommy, run away. Mommy, escape. That was how I left the house that night. That was how I escaped out of that trap. In the morning, we pack our things. I packed the things, called a taxi, packed the things to my mother's house. That was on the 28th of November last year. Pastor Moses Adeyo was not in the picture. I have nothing with him then. I went to my mother's house. Bright knew that I'm in my mother's house. Even that day as I was going, he saw me. Let's talk. Okay, can we see? I told him, I'm not, if you want us to talk, come to my mother's house. As he came to my mother's house, he saw me. I said, this is where we are. And this I want to be. I'm done. I picked up a Bible to renounce the oaths I took. He ran away. Immediately he saw me pick up a Bible. He left the house because he knew I want to renounce the oaths. I lured him one day in a restaurant. I have a record of it. That's what I was going to do. Before I quickly bring up a Bible, I renounced the oath. I said, your oath is no longer binding me. I am a free woman. I can live my life. It's not working. Let's not kill ourselves. Go your way. Let me go my way. It was not enough. I left. I left to Lagos on the second week of December. The first week of December, that's when I left Lagos. I was struggling. I will have to squat with a friend. Because if I'm in Port Harcourt, Bright will ping me. Bright will trace me and will block my ways. That is his nature. He will always stop me on the road. I will cry, I'll be begging for rescue. I have to leave Port Harcourt so that I can have my peace. I went to Lagos. I started my life afresh. I started squatting and squatting. I got a mini job in Lagos. Nobody knew my story. I covered up. I started my life afresh. I started earning small money to be able to take care of myself. It didn't end there. That was how it happened. It was calling. I said it's over. Now, to make it official, I came from Lagos to Port Harcourt in April. He said I left his house in 7 months and I ran and lived with Pastor Moses Adeyo. I've been in Lagos all this while. I came in April to my village. I went to my people and told them what has been going on. They shouted. I've been going through all this. I refused telling them. They invited Bright. The king of my community invited Bright and his father. He called his father. His father refused answering him. His father did not respond because they all know the story. Bright came. with his friend. They told him to go and bring his father. He didn't bring his father. We had an agreement. We went to my house. My uncles, my father, the people that gave me anti-marriage sat, and I held my view. I opened my mouth and told them what has been happening. They all lamented. Even the friend he came with was shocked that he didn't tell him to this extent. Brides, they asked me if it is true. He said yes, what I said was true. They said, but you never come to tell us that our doctor is not with you. You just seal it up all this while. But he said he doesn't know where I am, that I ran out of his house without his notice. He has been begging. Now,
you all, my name is Bright Ben. I posted something on Facebook tagged adultery. My pastor married my wife. Why I came on air, my wife and the mother came on air and said I didn't pay for my wife bride price. I married my wife traditionally. If you go to my wall on Facebook, you see the pictures and every other thing. I married her traditionally. After the traditional marriage, I gave the village boss to come to River State for wedding proper. Within the wedding process, the officiating pastor, he's still alive today, asked my father-in-law, this elder brother to my father-in-law, because my father-in-law is late, asked him, am I owing any dime in the village? He says no, the video is with me, the pictures is with me, my marriage certificate is with me. Have I finished everything that I am supposed to do in the village? The man says yes. We now proceed by joining us in holy matrimony. After that, we began to live as husband and wife. I am once a treasurer in Roma Cross Youth Association. I am once a leader in oil mill. Because of the oil mill matter, they closed oil mill. I have been paying my mother-in-law every oil mill day through his son. The son worked for me in the market. I have been a friend to the family, and I have been a brother to the family. I love my wife so much. I've never laid my hand on her for the past since 12 years of marriage. We have 3 children, we lost 1. As it is, they came to her and say I didn't pay for her bride price. Look at how it happens. Before I said adultery, and my pastor married my wife. I had a problem with my wife for a year. She left my house, and out of our settlement, she gave me a condition for me to rent an apartment outside my community before she would come back. And before then, I've been attending World Bank Assembly, Pastor Moses Adayo's church. I've been worshiping there from Roma Prosi to Eneka. Then my wife gave me that condition. I accepted. I went and rent an apartment where I'm staying now, and she came back. I took her to World Bank. The first day we went to church, she went to church with me. I introduced her to the church members. After church service, I went to the pastor's office with her. I saw pastor, his wife, and I introduced my wife, Mrs. Tina Onyechi Bright. I introduced her to my pastor, Adeyayo Moses, with the wife. We were all happy. The wife now gave my wife an appointment being an assistant choir mistress. She started the work as an assistant choir mistress. She started going to church. As I'm talking to you, any church member that knows my wife should still comment if I'm telling lies. That knows Pastor Daria's wife, comment if I'm telling lies. I know I'm saying the truth. Today, the mother has come to her that I didn't pay for her daughter's hair. Who on earth that will do traditional marriage and white wedding without paying a dowry for the daughter's head? Nobody. The world should know that nobody does that. That after traditional marriage, if you want to go for wedding, you must pay every dime in the family before they accept that white wedding for them to come and hand over their daughter to you in their altar, which they did. I am not surprised of what happening today. But what I'm saying, I'm not against of she marrying. What I'm against is, why must she be my pastor that I've been laying my complaint to? I started like this. I accused my wife of not being faithful to me. I complained to pastor. Pastor said I should call my wife. I called my wife. My wife refused to go, that I should forget about it. I should tell pastor that we have settled, which I did. Today, I saw my wife being married with the pastor. And my wife left my house for 7 months. She left my house for 7 months. And the same pastor is the pastor that I've been reporting matter to for settlement between I and my wife. I love my wife. I put her in social media. I celebrate her in every reason of life. I've never laid my hand on her. I celebrate her, and I know she loves me. Now, why I came to social media is that my life is at stake. Pastor, because before somebody will take what belongs to you, it must not be with empty eye or anything. But I did not ask my wife to return back to me. No, let the marriage work for them. But why I came on air is that she said one day did not return anything to me, no divorce paper, no anything. Even the person that I'm reporting my matter to was the person that married my wife, being the owner of the church, Pastor Moses Adayo, married my wife. And he is the person that I've been reporting my matter to. Each time I have problem with my wife, I will report to him. I gave my wife oath, tell her to take Bible. She took the Bible and swore that from today, she will not meet another man again. After that day, after 4 days, she took that oath, she left my house and stayed for 7 months. After the 7 months, what I'm saying is him, my pastor, wedding my wife. So I came now to tell them, to tell the public that this is how it happens. I am no more saying she should come back from me, but I'm telling the world so I came to tell the world that my life now is at stake. Because before somebody will take what belongs to you, he must prepare for you to die. But since I have not, they did not succeed of killing me, and I have seen it, let the world know that anything that happens to me, Pastor Moses Adayo is involved of it. Because even the first, when I married my wife, when I wedded her, her former boyfriend slept with her after 3 days of our matrimonial wedding. And I took it with me that I asked her, she said it's a mistake, that her girlfriend set her up, that her girlfriend invited her chief bridesmaid invited her best friend, and she never knew that the boy is in her house. And when she went and she saw that the former boyfriend and the boy took advantage of her. The same my mother-in-law, I told her this particular matter. She said I should not worry, that is her friends. She said that they want to scatter my marriage, I should go on with my marriage, which I did. Nobody hear it. I've been holding my wife because I know I love her. But the same person I've been complaining my matter to, that is my pain. My pain is not for my wife to come back. My pain is not that I am the first person that have ever been divorced by a woman or anything, but I've not received any divorce paper. I've not received any message from the village that this marriage is over. My people are did not know if the marriage is over or not. What I saw is my pastor, general overseer, married my wife. It's wrong. It's wrong. That is my pain. That is my worry. That is where I'm capitalizing on. I'm not saying that I will marry by tomorrow. I will marry anytime. So that is why I say let the world know that my life is at stake.